How's it going? It's Bill Stage. It is time to find out what is happening in the world of Quad City beer. Glenn Cole from Geneseo Brewing Company is here in quarantine. How are you, sir?
Oh, just wonderful.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. So, in all of this, people are still buying beer, and more importantly, breweries are still selling it and putting out new beers, right?
Yeah, just because everything shut down doesn't mean that breweries didn't already have new beers that were in tanks. So a couple local breweries have released new beers in the last couple weeks that may not have got as much attention since people aren't frequenting their actual establishments. But
Mhm.
a couple of breweries that are doing to go. Curbside pickup. At GVC, we have out in Geneseo the women's brew Hoppy Boots. So that my assistant Rachel and a bunch of local women brewed on International Women's Day. That's finally out. You can get that in cans curbside at GVC. Bent River has Liquified 2.0. It's a really, really good hazy IPA, probably one of the best I've had in a while. I'm drinking on Radical Effects number 5, and that was brewed with an experimental New Zealand hop that kind of has like this tropical fruity bubblegum thing going on. Super good.
Nice.
So yeah, there are some new beers out there. Yeah, check in on your local breweries.
Very cool. And of course, Geneseo Brewing Company, curbside food and beer over there.
Yep, still going every day. Starts at 4 p.m. So you can call in your order, and daily food specials, great weekend full for the family that includes beer specials and all kinds of stuff. So, yep.
I saw a news story recently. There's a place called Ballast Point in San Diego, and they did a merger and acquisition. A bigger beer company bought this, and all of a sudden, nobody was interested in it. And I thought about you, and I'm like, I bet Glenn has an idea about why that happened.
Yeah, acquisitions and mergers are really interesting as the industry changes and as craft beer changes. Obviously, there's a lot more craft beer drinkers and local beer drinkers now than there ever have been. But it is really strange to watch and see what happens to different brands. Another big one besides Ballast Point was the when Goose Island got bought out by Anheuser-Busch, and they were able to mass produce all of the Goose IPA and the 312 all over the country. That was kind of seen from real big craft beer enthusiasts as a sellout, but it was also a really big intro for people that didn't have access or that didn't normally see a kind of craft beer on tap, that they got introduced to the IPA or an American wheat through that brand that probably wouldn't have before. So that's a little different. But what we also seen was the Bourbon County brand stout, which is normally a Black Friday release every year, special release that people waited in line for.
Sorry, Glenn, I'm getting
that hype died off.
I'm getting a lot of interference. I can hardly understand what you're saying. It almost sounds like there's a dog running around your room.
There's a dog running around. So there are sometimes the hype changes. So it might be that they might gain hype from people that weren't able to get their product in a certain area, or just getting introduced to craft beer in general, and they might lose hype from their most loyal customers that have stood in line, places and things. So it can go one way or the other. Ballast Point is a really strange one. Ballast Point was bought out by Constellation Brands a few years ago. Constellation Brands is who owns Corona. So they have a lot of huge brands, international, multi-million-dollar company. And they've been acquiring several craft brands, bigger craft brands. What happened when they were bought out, they had such a niche following that completely abandoned them with the sellout.
Right.
So they just were never able to catch up. It was a total just blow to that investment.
Yeah.
And they just recently were purchased again were sold and purchased by a very small craft brewery ownership group out of Chicago. So now they're kind of going the opposite way. This new group is trying to reestablish the brand back to what it was before it became this brand as big as Corona.
Right.
So yeah, I think we'll start seeing a lot more mergers. The biggest merger last year was obviously Dogfish Head and Boston Beer Company, Sam Adams, merged to become one company.
Okay.
To where neither of them had to sell out to a giant international brand.
Right.
I think especially with everything going on with all of the COVID-19 and everybody being shut down, is there's going to be more buyouts. There's going to be bigger groups buying them. There's going to be more local ownership groups buying out breweries and changing the industry. This is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out for craft beer as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know you'll be keeping abreast of the situation, right, Glenn?
Oh, definitely. Always
Yeah.
keeping up. And then, if you follow what's happening on Facebook, I'm always sharing links of big news, small news, local news, and national and international beer news. So yep, lots of links getting thrown up on the What's Happening page.
Absolutely. Doing any podcasting lately?
We've been planning on it. I've been trying to get all of the Zoom and everything hooked up. I've been doing live beer reviews on the Central Store page.
Okay.
So Central Store is still doing delivery of beer. So every time they get new beer in, I've been doing kind of breaking down the styles and the different ingredients that are in them, and talk a little bit about the brands. So I've been doing a lot of that. If you follow the Central Store page, you'll see some of my beer reviews.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. I love that. Keep it up, brother.
Excellent. So I just got that one last plug. Bens and Brews is going to be doing a special virtual yoga on Thursday. And it's a fundraiser for the yoga instructors. So it's 100% goes to all of the yoga instructors that do Bens and Brews at the different local breweries that are out of work right now. A lot of them have other jobs that are also shut down, like bartending at breweries.
Sure.
So yeah, that's going to be at 7:15. It's a donation only through PayPal. So if you go on the Bens and Brews Facebook page and check out the event, you can see how to donate, how to sign up. And it's a great time. I've done it the past 2 weeks. Do some yoga, drink some beer, and then we have a social hour afterwards of just hanging out and drinking.
That sounds like a good time. All right, man. Well, thank you so much, Glenn. You take care over there, all right?
Cheers.